Okay, first of all, congratulations to the Florida Gators. They outplayed us tonight. It was loud. Their atmosphere was really good. You know, you look at the game, we dug ourselves a hole in the first quarter. Had trouble tackling. They made some explosive plays. Offensively, 1 of 7 on third down. You're not going to be effective at all on 1 of 7 third down. And then came out of the second half. We had a good drive. We had to settle for a field goal. We got to figure out ways to get in the end zone. And then it was, you know, our kids battled. I'm proud of our players for battling. They played extremely hard. We had some young guys that hadn't played that got in there and made some plays. But the bottom line, we just didn't get it done. So congratulations to those guys. You know, the non-conference is over. And so now we got to play better football. I expect that we will. Looking forward to playing Cincinnati. Questions?
Coach, how would you evaluate KJ Jefferson, his play tonight, some of his decision-making, opening drive of the second half, down in the red zone, and some other holding on the ball too long, and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, he was under duress. A lot of that, in fairness to him, he was under duress. We didn't protect him very well, and I don't know how many times we were sacked, but it was quite a bit. And so it was really tough to judge, you know, as far as that goes.
You just said that this team needs to play better football, and you expect that they will. Why do you expect that they will, based on the
just knowing what I know. I mean, I know we didn't play good tonight, and I know we didn't play good the night before, but we got a lot of winners in that locker room. We got to solve some things. We will solve some things. So I expect us to play better.
Guess you guys got another slow start again and find yourself in a
Yeah.
hole deep again. What do you guys need to do to keep from that happening?
Yeah, no doubt. We got to solve that. That starts with me. We've got to figure out. Like I said, the big thing is the third downs. I mean, you know, they had a week off. There were some new wrinkles that they scored. They got good players. We had to answer the bell offensively. We didn't answer the bell offensively to keep up with them. I was proud of our defense in the second half. I mean, they shut them out in the second half. They did a good job as far as that goes, and we just couldn't answer the bell offensively to keep up with them.
Coach, in the red zone, the lack of the production, do you think there's more from play calling, the lack of execution?
It's probably all of the above. It's all of the above. You know, anytime you're not successful in red zone, there's a lot of different issues.
Coach, what do you think you need to actually bring some balance to the offense, perhaps? You seem to see R.J. Harvey coming.
Well, you know, they did a good job up front. They put an extra guy in there at times, like y'all saw. But we got to be creative. I mean, we got to help our guys out and be creative, and we got to do a better job doing that. You know, I don't know balance-wise. We didn't have very many yards, period. But you know, I think one of the things we were fairly balanced, but that ain't good enough. We got to run the football. I think y'all know that. For us to be successful as we need to be, we got to put rushing yards on there, and we got to be able to throw it deep.
Coach, you said last week after the loss that you need to focus on us. How do you do that when facing the adversity of a 2-game losing streak?
Yeah, well, it's 2 games. That's the way you look at it, and we feel like crap right now, and we did last week. I expect us to play better, but we got to solve it. Like I said, we've got non-conference is over. All of our goals are still intact. Like I said, we have a team that'll fight. They fought till the end. A bunch of great kids. We got some talented guys in certain positions. We got some young guys that we're going to start playing. Grant Reddick, I thought, did an unbelievable job in a tough spot. You know, came in there and kicked 2 field goals and kept the momentum going. We're a lot closer than that score, I'll tell you that, and so that's the reason I say that.
You got the ball back about 4.5 minutes to go in the game. There just didn't look like there was any sense of urgency. Why was there not more plays running? I think it was only 4 plays before the
Yeah. There was, we got to do a better job in some of those areas.
What has changed along the offensive line that has led to a lack of consistency in the run game the last 2 weeks?
Opponents had something to do with it. D-line, both the D-lines we played were better than the D-lines we'd played the first 3 weeks. But like I told you, you know, from a coaching standpoint, we got to do a better job helping our guys, and that's what we need to do.
Gus, you had a handful of players obviously chose to redshirt this year. What does that mean for you guys? When did you find out about this? And what do you have to do moving forward?
Well, we're in the new age of college football. I know we're not the only team experiencing that, but, you know, it's next man up. That's just what you got to do. And, you know, like I said, Grant Reddick was a guy that, you know, Colton was hurt, just so everybody knows. I mean, he's been battling an ankle injury for a while. He's been fighting through and just got to the point where, you know, he couldn't do it. So Grant got in there. We'll see if we can get Colton back. You know, I know he'll try his best as far as that goes. And then we had some other guys decide to, opt out and go to other schools. So it's just next man up. And,
Disappointing for you?
yeah, I mean, it's a new age of college football. You got to adapt, and that's probably the best way to put it for me.
Okay, so points tonight, did you think about replacing the quarterback and getting maybe?
No, I didn't tonight. We didn't play great around him at times, like I said. And when we don't protect him, it would have been tough on anybody.
What are you
Gus,
seeing in
you called last
AJ that
week,
makes you feel like he's the right guy to lead this offense?
Just, coaching for 33 years and knowing that, he's a winner, got a lot of winners in him, and we got to do a better job around him and helping him.
Hey, Gus, you called last week a missed opportunity. How do you describe what you put on the field tonight?
Yeah, not good. I mean, I know that wasn't good, but you got to give them credit. When you play on the road, you got to play good football, and we didn't.
Kobe's first target came right before the end of the first half. How do you get him more?
Yeah, we got to move him around a little bit. We had him the boundary mainly, and they had a safety over the top, taking some things away. So we got to start moving him around.
You spoke about toughness and togetherness in fall camp begin. Considering the way that things have played out in the last 2 weeks and the events of this week, are you seeing that from your team?
Yeah, our guys are tough. They are together. They battle till the end. There's no issues as far as that goes. We just got to do a better job coaching, a better job playing on the field.
Coach, you were 30% on third down for the second week in a row. What do you have to do in these situations to ensure more offensive production?
Yeah, correct it. Correct it. And like I said, it starts with coaching and put our guys in the best situations possible. Like I said, you got to give them credit. They did a good job. They got some real guys at certain positions, and we'll get better on third down.
All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks, everybody.
Experience tonight, obviously it was somewhat of a homecoming for you, giving you Gator a pass, and you were in some new roles tonight, catching punts as well. Just kind of reflect on tonight with this game into you.
Yeah, it was cool to be back in old stomping ground. Place that means a lot to me, but obviously we didn't come out with the result we wanted. As far as the punt returning stuff, just something that I was put into that role, so just accept it and do it. And yeah, disappointing game for us, obviously, that we just didn't get it done.
What's not working for this offense right
I don't know. I think we've struggled in the red zone a little bit. We're trying to put our finger on that issue. We're going to come together this week and really put emphasis on that as we did last week and try to be better in that area. And we got all our goals in front of us, another rivalry game next week, and we just got to get back in the W column. That's our focus.
Trent, can you talk a little bit about the vibe in the wide receiver room right now coming into the season? So much talent, so much potential, but it kind of seems like it's been dominated kind of by one guy. Can you talk a little bit about what the vibe is right now?
Oh yeah, we weren't upset by Kobe's early success. As you're alluding to, he had a couple really good games and kind of what the defense was giving us at the time. We've had some defenses maybe play us a little differently since, and yeah, there's really no time to be frustrated in that type of thing. Obviously, it's human nature, but you just got to move on. We got to come together as a team and get back in the W column next week.
Right. You guys last year were 3-2 at this point. You're 3-2 at this point again. Do you feel like this team's better than last year's team?
I do, yeah, and we need an emphasis on not having that type of slide we had last year that put us behind the 8 ball, especially in conference. I know there's a couple undefeated teams in the conference, in conference play, but all around college football, people are getting beat. As you see, I saw some in the SEC today. So that should motivate us to come out and make a push in the conference.
The team is better. Why isn't it shown?
Well, we're only through 5 games. We played 12, so.
Is it a distraction when you get into a week and the number 2 receiver decides he doesn't want to play anymore? I mean, I know that's part of the game now with opt-outs and stuff, but is that a distraction as you're preparing for an opponent?
No distraction. X made a decision for his future. I wish him the best. No distraction, though.
Trent, you eliminated turnovers this week, but you guys were unable to find the end zone until the fourth quarter. What needs to change heading into next week?
Yeah, we got to be better in the red zone. Statistically, I'm not sure exactly, but we're not ranked high in the red zone. So we just got to fix that. A lot of times just execution. I know versus Colorado, we just had some execution issues with plays that were there. That's on the players. When we look back at this film, we'll be able to see what our issue was tonight. But, yeah, a lot of it's on the players. We're going to take ownership of that and get it done.
When did you learn that X was opting out? When was it brought? And how much did you work throughout the course of the season on punt return and the preseason leading up to this game?
Yeah, I've always kind of been like an emergency guy on all teams I've played on since I was even here at Florida. So whenever we learned earlier in the week that that was his decision, then I started. I had already been taking some reps, but I started taking all of them.
You came in doing punt returns like we mentioned here earlier. From your perspective, how well did special teams adjust X and now Colton also being hurt? Like, how well did you guys adjust to in this game?
Yeah, got to watch the film, but I think we adjusted decently. I think Grant made 2 field goals. Am I right on that? Evan had some nice kickoffs, and then we came after some punts, and I made fair catches. So I think we adjusted pretty well.
It seems like teams are now stacking the box against you guys, and still kind of no production. Now, trying to force not to pass the ball, still not much production. Like, what could change to make it kind of a little bit better, not so one-sided?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't have that answer right now, but we'll just continue to look to find new ways to spread the ball around. And I know Coach Malzahn and the staff will do a great job of putting us in a position so that it looks different next week.
During the fourth quarter, it didn't seem like you guys had a ton of urgency with about 4 minutes left. Was that something that you guys were cognizant of, or were you moving with pace, we just didn't see it on the game clock?
I mean, sometimes when you have incomplete passes or sacks, it takes away from the ability to pace, which I think happened to us a couple times. So to be urgent, you have to move the ball down the field as well. So I think a couple times we stopped our own momentum. And, when it's 3rd and long, you've got to have a good play call. You can't just, like chicken with your head cut off, come back and snap the ball. So I think we killed ourselves kind of in that regard.
Coming off 2 tough losses, how would you characterize the team right now? What's that locker room like?
It's still a determined locker room. I'll use that word. But it's in sports, talk is meaningless. We just got to go win games. So, a lot can be said about the locker room and this and that, but we just got to put result on the field.
What was different this week? Because a lot of what you're saying sounds like what we heard last week.
What was different in what regard?
What changed from last week's mistakes? And you played, move forward with
I mean, we didn't turn the ball over. Like I said, I got to watch film, but I can't give you a direct answer on that.
The term predictable has kind of been used for like the express this offense. Would you say that's like a fair term to use? Kind of like you would kind of see what's coming beforehand, and kind of people have adjusted to the scheme on tape.
Yeah, maybe. I think a lot of offenses are predictable. It's just, does your predictable play produce? And in certain games this year it has, certain games it hasn't. So as far as being predictable, I think everybody's predictable in a certain way. A lot of it just goes back to execution.
All right, thanks, Trent.
Thank y'all.
Quite kind of reflect on this one tonight. I know it was a difficult first half, but you guys were able to hold them scoreless in the second half. What changed in that second half coming out?
I mean, how every team, the first half, you feel the team out, battle to your heart's end, and if things don't go out how you playing, going into the second half, you got to make adjustments. So that's what we did. Went in, made some adjustments, and stuck to a new game plan that we went out there and executed.
You guys struggled with missed tackles, especially in the first half. What do you have to do to ramp up your physicality to ensure that you're getting them down?
I would say all we got to do is emphasize it in practice. In practice, we just emphasize tackling, work on more tackling drills. Since it's evident that we can't, execute in that area, we're gonna work on that pretty much week in, week out.
Did Florida show you something different than you had prepared for?
They didn't show us anything different. It's just on our end, we didn't execute. So we just have to go back and look at how we didn't execute and fix that problem.
Well, do you think there's an element when you're attacking, while you guys are tackling, that you're trying too hard to get that O hit rather than trying to get the proper rep?
I feel like we just are not following, I would say, tackling technique that we were taught as players, and we have to go back to our tackling fundamental drills and get back to actually focusing on tackling.
Bob, you had a couple of your teammates decided to redshirt this year. What was that like for you to see some of your teammates go through that, and what does it mean for your group?
I mean, honestly, I've been in college for 5 years. I've seen it multiple times. Nothing new. So I mean, at the end of the day, the college is just like the NFL. It's next man up mentality. So, hey, guys leave. Hey, dudes who are looking for opportunity. This is your opportunity right here. So, at the end of the day, next man up, keep playing.
Speaking of next man up, Chasen Johnson gets to play a lot more today. How would you evaluate his performance?
I would say for a freshman, stepping into a big game. For a big game in this instance, he did well. From what I seen for all the plays that he been in, he did well, and I give him props for stepping up in the big stage.
Why
Why do you feel like the defense is kind of showing the same, I would say, like, mistakes as far as, like, not making tackles or giving big plays over, kind of from last year rolling over to this year? Like, what do you feel like could be different where you guys can have your change on the field?
I say communication. It's a lot to do with the communication that we tend to lack every now and then. When those big plays pop, and we don't really communicate in those aspects, so we just have to work on our communication skills.
Well, where would you say this team is right now? I know you guys came into the season with high hopes. This was going to be a championship caliber team. 2 tough losses now. What's the mood like? What are your teammates thinking going forward?
I mean, honestly, I hope none of them are thinking like this, but one loss in the conference, one loss out of the conference. We're still probably in the running for a Big 12 championship, and that's going to be the mindset till the wheels fall off.
How important is it for the defense to start generating pressures and turn those pressures into sacks?
I mean, it's a big emphasis each and every week, but you have to stick to your goal and stick to your game plan. And if they end up getting sacks and they end up getting pressure and things like that, and we're still dominating on defense, I mean, there's no problem there.
What kind of an opportunity was this for you guys? Last week, Gus said it was a missed opportunity against Colorado, but tonight, Florida at their house.
I mean, each and every game you expect to go in and win. It's a missed opportunity if you don't end up winning. So take each and every game the same way. It's another missed opportunity that we're going to go back, look at, and correct things, and then hopefully go back and prepare for the next team.
What's the discussion with your teammates like when facing the adversity of a 2-game losing streak?
I mean, honestly, just don't forget just don't forget where you are. There's a lot of people who, as I always say, you go into a losing streak and you're sad, you're down, man. This is not it. But they have to look at the opportunity that they're given. You're in college and you could be doing anything else, and you're here playing the game that a lot of people aren't blessed to play. So take the opportunity that you're on the field now and run with it.
You just said opportunity there, but what are you feeling now, having experienced these back-to-back losses?
I mean, yeah, it hurts to lose, but I'm still blessed that I'm in this opportunity because God knows where I would have been if I didn't pick up football.
Quad, you guys are 3-2 now. You're 3-2 last year this time ago as well. Do you feel like this team is any better than last year's team?
I would say we have better skills, but I mean, skill doesn't mean anything if you don't put in the work and come together as a team. So I mean, all the skill set that we have, it means nothing if we don't come together as a family.
How confident are you in this team's abilities to come together and compete for the Big 12?
I'm very confident because a lot of the times outside of football, we all come together. We do things outside of football that connect us on a different level. We just have to, emphasize that.
The defense holds them scoreless in the second half. How do you keep the energy when the offense is struggling?
I mean, as a defensive person, seeing your offense struggle, I mean, the initial thought that most people will have is, man, our offense sucks, this and that. On defense, hey, if your offense can't get it done, defense get it done. Keep them uplifted, though. Because at the end of the day, y'all are a family. Y'all work together. But our offense, defense, what are you? You're gonna go out there and keep playing defense? At the end of the day, you have to the team has to be together. If there's a good offense and a bad defense, it's gonna be a shootout. If there's a good defense and a bad offense, I mean, it's going to be another shootout, but you have to work together and keep each other uplifted. So if offense is doing bad, defense go out there, hey, y'all boys, y'all good. We're going to go out there, we're going to stop y'all, we're going to get y'all the ball back. Same vice versa. If defense goes out there and gives up the touchdown, offense comes back, hey, y'all boys good, we're going to go score. Y'all go back the next time and get a stop.
What do you think you can build on from the second half performance today?
I would say we just have to look how we executed in the second half and then build on that, basically emphasizing us executing the little things that we needed to do to actually put together a whole game.
Time for 1 or 2 more. Anybody got anything else? Perfect. Good stuff, Quad. Appreciate you, man. No problem. Yep, that's all for